Complete, one complete breath to complete our love bubble. So that's nice. So maybe just I'm finding some cracks. So if you want to just move your body and just feel any tension that is just ready to release, that love is doing it. I love and the amazing guidance Rachel just gave us. Thank you again. And I think it put my mother to sleep.
I'm swirling.
She's swirling. She's caught in the swirl. So the topic for today is how to navigate the holidays. And so my mom, I came down from the shower and my mom was here and I said, well, you're part of the tribe today. And what are you oohing and eyeing, Michelle? You caught my eye. You were like, no, okay. So I said, Mom, this is our topic. And she started. She was like, well, it's simple. Let's see if she wants to share again. Are you ready to share in your swirl or you want to swirl?
If I can remember.
Well, actually, you hold on. I'm going to come a little closer. Excuse me, cutie pie. Time out for cuteness. Hold on. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Hold on. I don't want to run over her tail or anything. Here we go. All right. From 82 years of wisdom. 83?
I'm in my 4th year.
Yes, you're in your 84th year. Okay. What is the secret to the holidays?
Accept all the buzzing around your head. Slow it down. Concentrate on one thing you would like to be. Accept one thing at a time. Breathe. Let it out.
And did you say something about rejoicing?
Yes, rejoice in this holiday.
Why?
Because it needs rejoicing with everybody. Forget all the problems that are created during the holidays and just breathe it out. And accept every little one of them. Smile. Smile. Be happy with it. Scratch your nose.
And scratch your nose. Good morning, Judd. He's playing hide and seek. Yes, accept. Are you complete? Okay. Mom is complete. 4 generations here today. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Good morning, Judd. Glad to see your full face and your arms and your fingers and all of it. Okay. Yes, as we have talked about acceptance so much, because when we think of conflicts, the sooner we can accept what is going on or change it, we can have any healing events that are necessary to complete that program. So yeah, I believe that that is I agree, mother. Let's see. She's going to have a nap. So she's coming off look at Judd. Judd, I won't be able to concentrate. No, it's good. Let him be. It's good. It's good for focus. Yeah, mom's coming off a couple days of coughing. So she is out and about today. So would Judd want to say anything, Ashley? Would Judd want to introduce himself and say why he likes Christmas?
No.
You don't want to? It's okay. It's okay. No's a great word. Yes, I would say no, thank you. Okay, perfect. Great.
Thank you.
So yes, many people are getting sick this time of year. I have a couple school teacher friends and the kids are squirrely. They're acting out. We would call that constellated. There's a lot of, I don't want to see dad. I want to see dad. I can't see dad. I want to go see mom. Don't want to do all this. So kids can act up. Just in case, I know there's a few of you that do work with kids or have little ones. And so I will, as always, I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of questions. So is anybody dealing with any particular Christmas stressor? Actually, I will start with my stressor, and then if you want to share, because we start with problems and then we offer solutions. That's our goal of these calls. So right now, my house is a wreck because I'm organizing again / still. I have my office bedroom is almost complete. I have one more construction day. I think that's tomorrow or Wednesday. And then I get to take stuff out of the other bedrooms and put them all back and clean and be ready for my brother that's coming next week. And then my family, my kids are staying here. Goodbye, mother.
Goodbye.
Have-
Blessings.
Blessings.
Hi, Jude.
So, needless to say, with all that I've been doing, like probably 100 hours of woodwork, blah, 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 a lot, I have not done one thing for Christmas. I'm not on a strike, but I'm just choosing my battles. I know that when I get overwhelmed, I start running a program. I know my kids don't want that for me. I know I don't want that for me. So I am choosing my battles. I am saying no to everything, basically. I'm like, focus on what is present, because that can be overwhelming enough. And all I can do is all I can do. So when I find myself being overwhelmed, I'm like, okay, take a break. And then I lay down. So not everybody is able to do that because of perceptions, what people will think if we don't show up with a gift. I mean, I'm ready to have a conversation, and my kids know where I'm at, and I'm ready to have a bigger conversation on what we can do for Christmas. Like, I have some really great fun ideas, but I'm not ready to like put them together, but I got 2 weeks. So a little bit of procrastination. No, we take care of what's in front of us to the best of our ability, and then we move on to the next. So the other thing is, like, one of my friends went into healing, and she was like on day 10, and she's like, Deanna, what's going on here? So we had a conversation, and it was basically a situation of a family member that can kind of blow up at a family event. It can turn into a big ta-da. And so we were able to discuss just kind of her symptoms and that, and then also look at that scenario of how she's going to handle it, because it's complicated. She has her parents who are in their 90s that she wants to protect. They don't need those shocks. So she fully knows GNM. Her sister knows GNM. So they're a team. It's really cool. And so they're now going to be strategizing, or have already, or I planted the seed, whether they do or don't, it's all right. But strategizing, if this happens, then this is what we will do. So then there's no shock in the moment. It's like, oh, kind of half expected this. So, and here you take mom in the other room, and actually I go outside and leave them to their own or whatever. So, yeah, there can be a lot of that. And then people with digestive issues, they're like, oh, what food can I eat? Can I eat? Blah, blah, blah. So that can be a stressor. So I'm just throwing out a few scenarios, and then we can come up with some plans so that we can enjoy this holiday, which is really not about gifts, as we know. One of my favorite books, and I wanted to find it this morning. It's called Grandmother Jesus. I don't know. When somebody's talking, I will go find it. It's my favorite book. Anna, Mother of Jesus, Grandmother of Jesus. That's the book. Yay, good brain this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rachel. All right. I open the floor to conversation. Da, da, da. Rachel, go. Me.
I'll go.
Yay.
So I focused on other means of finances this past fall. I had something happen to my oldest son, and I spent a lot of money helping him out, and I actually traveled out to Idaho. So I don't have the Christmas gifts, things that I usually do. So I got creative, and I did creative things, and I did upcycling, and I made gifts that way. But my boys have voiced to me that this year's hard for them. I have 2 boys, and they're like, we don't know we can't buy gifts for Christmas. And I said, some of the best gifts that I've ever received from either of you are things that I find every year when I decorate my tree. And it's like the ornaments, or the poems that you wrote to me, or the Christmas cards that you gave me, and I've kept them. And those are the best gifts. Those are the best gifts. Like, a lot of the things that you've given me as gifts, things over the years, I don't even have some of those, but the ones that I have are the ones that you made or created. And that's been really helpful to me and to them, I think, to know that I'm not in that space of you need to buy a present for everybody, and because I'm not feeling it at all. I'm done with Christmas. Christmas to me is a time to honor each other and come together and in the, I call it the Christo energy of unconditional love. And that's what I plan on doing. And I had a moment where I was like, well, one boy's out west and one decided he's going to work on Christmas. So what am I going to do on Christmas? I'm not doing anything. And so I decided I am going to go skiing. And that's what I'll do. Christmas Day, I'll ski and I'll honor all the people I love. And Christmas Eve, I'll be with my family, my mom and sisters and all their little kitties, and I'll get to see that. And that's all I need. That's and I really truly feel that. I sat with it and I fretted over it, and I had years past, the last several years, I'm going through this transition and this change about it all, and I was like, oh, here I am alone in Christmas, and blah, and I don't feel that way anymore at all. I feel content, and I feel sovereign rather than alone or lonely, and I like it. It feels good, finally.
Yeah. It's quite an ego shift to go from the material Christmas to, okay. And I remember when my kids got married and had children, they stopped coming on Christmas. I remember actually I got into the whiskey on Christmas morning. I put just a little bit in my coffee. I put a hat on. I was in my own little apartment a few years ago. And I was like, I sang a Christmas holiday card. It was really funny and it's memorable. I will share it pretty soon. And so it really is, it's about, we have expected this, but that draw to, oh, I look at all the elf things going on and the all the pressures on parents to create a different elf on the shelf experience, and just like so many pressures because everybody's doing it. And if you don't, your kids are going to be like, it's so crazy. And so like Rachel, I just started this little sheet, and I was basically family collaborative gift ideas, the design material. So it's basically, I have these things. I have wood, I have burned board, I have stained. I have about 200 picture frames that came with the house. So what is more memorable of taking something like that, doing an artistic thing with the kids all here? My son's a construction guy. I have painters, I have creators, I have like we can come together and make some gifts and take some pictures and print them and put them on the wall. So I have a couple design ideas that are unique, and it's really, you use the word creations, like the best gifts are those that come from the time, energy, thought, and they're the true gifts. Is I thought about you and I thought about what you mean to me and put it on a Christmas tree or whatever and hung it up or gifted it to you. So, I mean, that's what Christmas is. We are all gifts. We are the gifts. So for me, it's time. It's just having fun. I have to share this. It was so sweet. I knew this, but I didn't know it. I was kind of shocked yesterday. I called my son, and I was like, hey, that's a different ceiling. Because my son has Cecilia and she's 2.5, almost 3. I was like, hey, that's a different ceiling. And she's like, oh yeah, we're at Dad's. It's the weekend they come together, the week before Christmas. And so I was like, okay, no, that happens. I don't have to be involved. I don't have to know everybody, where everybody is, blah, blah, blah. So later, so I got to say hi to Cecilia and she brought me through the house and everything is all good. But later he said, Cecilia wants to see you, Nanny with the crazy hair and the cats. And so long story short, it started raining and I live on the other side of town. So for them to come out here, it'd be an extra like half hour. So we met at the park. We played in the rain and had 30 minutes of silliness in the rain. And that just filled my soul. It was just, I mean, who's going to play in the rain? I will. So I showed up with, like, I haven't decorated, but I did have a Santa hat on. I had a red and a hat, and we played and we slid down and we banged our butts and we got wet and we created a really awesome memory. And so that was fun. And then, yeah, anyway, so that's my story. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing how you're transitioning, because I know Michelle probably is transitioning to kids doing different things and feeling alone. And Ashley, of course, has a young one. Chantel, I think you have either teens or 20s.
Yeah, my kids are 18 and 12.
Okay. So yes, anybody else want to share? And we'll try to go to the top of the hour because I have to stay focused. Any other? And Dolores,
do.
welcome.
Yeah, I have grown children. And so this year we decided to my husband and I, we just go do something on our own for Christmas. And we're really excited to have that peace and quiet. And so it was kind of funny. We got a Airbnb in the Poconos. And when our kids found out, they're like, well, we want to come.
Right.
So actually two are coming Christmas Day because they live in the Northeast. So they're just going to come for the day. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, we can do that. But I thought it was really funny. They hadn't included us in plans in a couple of years. And then all of a sudden when we make plans, they're like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, okay, guys, no.
And somebody said, I don't know if it was on this call, but my kids just do whatever they want. They don't consider me. So why can't I? Right?
Right?
Mm-hmm. All right. A day of peace and quiet. That's interesting. It is peace. It's a day of peace. Mm-hmm. And it's not supposed to be all the crazy. It's been confiscated. No, that's the wrong word. Anyway, okay. Anybody else want to share knowledge or how they navigated, or a little stress and they kind of are trying to figure out how to resolve it or at least downgrade it prior to the holidays? Ashley, reaching for
Okay,
the button.
I can share a little bit. Christmas has really stressed me out in the last few years. I think I've learned how to navigate it this year, but we'll see if you have any other advice. So I think since I've just learned German New Medicine this year, I think I'm like a smidgen. I have like an autistic constellation going on because I get really overwhelmed by a lot of people and doing different things. And so I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Four Christmases with Reese Witherspoon, but that's kind of how our Christmas day is. We kind of just hit the ground running in the morning, and we go to all these different places, and then the next day it's actually my mother-in-law and my dad's birthday, so we do birthday celebrations the very next day. And I am very much like a homebody. Like, I love being home, and I have, we'll see if I say this right, Deanna, but I have healing symptoms in my gut. And one of my tracks is like boundaries and things that involve my calendar. So like if I am too busy, I start having symptoms. And so this week leading up to Christmas, I'm trying not to put very much at all on my calendar, like stay home as much as possible until Christmas Day. I do have family coming in to visit me on Friday, and they're staying here. and that will be a little crazy, but they're leaving Saturday, and then I should have most of Saturday to myself, and then Sunday, most of that to myself, I think. And then Monday's Christmas. So anyway, so then we will hit the ground running on Monday. Well, fortunately, I have learned some things that do kind of help. Like I'll escape to the bathroom and do my breathing exercises, or just like things that will help my nervous system, help my psyche, like just kind of calm down, be like, we're safe, this is fine. So I know that not going to these places are always an option, but I am like wanting to, I don't want to like sacrifice my health for going to visit family, but I do selfless. I know to see my mom and see my Max's side of the family. So like I don't have to go, but I kind of do. So anyway, so I want to. I mean, I do want to go. It's just gonna be it's a lot. So I'm just hoping I don't have any like digestive symptoms because of it. So anyway, does anybody have any advice or anything about like how to just calm down, especially if maybe I am in that autistic constellation? Oh, I see Rachel's waving.
I do. I have advice because I've been in that position a lot. In fact, anytime that I go out into a public setting where there's a lot of people, I'm super sensitive and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of people here. And then if I know a lot of people in that setting, I'm like, oh my God, who do I say hi to first? And I get totally overwhelmed. But I've trained myself to breathe. Breathing is like number one for me. And to call back my power, stand in my core. So my core is, I feel my feet on the earth. I'm supported. I have support. I'm there. I know the earth supports me. And that's really all I need to know, is that I'm supported. And in that exhale, I can release all of that anxiety into the earth, and I can just breathe in who I am. And it helps me tremendously. I've had to leave the room and just, like you said, go in the bathroom and breathe. And I'd turn the light out, breathing in the dark even. I'm like, okay, I have to breathe here. And then I go out, and once I get myself centered again, I'm okay. But it's a matter of not letting, for me, it was always a matter of not letting little pieces of myself be taken away. And because I'm a very giving person by nature, but I have found that I've given myself away on occasions, and I'm not doing that anymore. Instead of giving myself away, I'm standing in my power and standing in my core. And as I do that, I emit who I am. So then those who are in need of me still can feel me without taking a piece of me. I don't know if that
I
helps
love that.
make sense,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's been a long.
I have something real quick I can add, Ashley. So, we had to do all those things, go here, there, all those things. And I have a son also who was born on December 26th. So there's birthdays. My birthday is in December. So what we decided was Christmas morning, children usually are opening gifts, and some, they want to play with them. And I'm like, well, why are they opening? They're opening gifts and they want to play with their things and enjoy their day. But we are just grabbing them. No, you can't play with anything, and getting them ready to drive here and there and here and there. And they're just having meltdowns. So we chose on Christmas Day, we would stay home, just us and our children. That's it. We would make a leisurely breakfast. So Christmas Eve is spent with, someone, go to a couple places, and maybe the day after. But Christmas Day was for us and our children. And, they want to look at their stuff and play with their toys and try on their stuff and, not be, just enjoy the day. And so that's what we had to do. And it was fine. It worked out fine when we said, hey, so you probably wouldn't have symptoms, and you maybe wouldn't anyway, but and if you made the decision to go, hey, we're going to stay home this Christmas, and you changed things up and you resolved that, that's probably when you would have some symptoms. So that's just my 2 cents there, and I got to go to the pool in 2 minutes.
Have fun at the pool.
Thank
Yay, yay.
you.
Yeah,
I have more.
go ahead, Dolores.
What we did was I was really lucky that my aunt always hosted Christmas on Christmas Day. And so we would go Christmas Eve and spend the night at her house. And then everybody woke up and we were just there all day. And the Santa came there and we just never left till the night. And so it worked out. But going to 50 million different places was so hard. So she just had it, she had space. But I mean, we had people sleeping in sleeping bags in the living room because everybody just was at her house on Christmas Eve. Yeah, Roman Catholic. So we'd go to church, midnight mass, and then we'd all come home and pass out. Kids would wake up at the crack of dawn and the day would just start. But the great thing is we all stayed in our pajamas and we were just at her house.
That's
So
fun.
yeah, in that way you didn't have to leave any place. But I mean, we all were pretty much laid back. My grandma and my aunt liked to do all the cooking, so it was like, okay, you guys knock it out.
Well, and on the parental side, one year my daughter just said I could see that she was so anxious of bouncing around, like they'd come to town and feel like I have to go here and see and keep everybody happy. And then I don't know what started the conversation, but she just said finally, like, I can't do this. We're gonna change our plans. And of course, it's like nobody, well, I wouldn't say that. When we do our work, having somebody set boundaries with you will not be a bad thing. Now, if they're a controlling type or maybe haven't done their work or whatever, and there's no judgment with any of that, but as we've all said, there's a transition time when you go from parenting to having adult children. So we got to do the work. Susan, did you ever have to do the work to go, oh, they're not coming home anymore. I'm going to sit here and cry? No. Bye, Michelle. Thank you.
Hi, all.
And our friend Courtney sends the love to all the ladies. She's doing well. She got a new job. Yes. So anyway, setting boundaries is not a bad thing. The other thing is practice witnessing, like the anxiety. So the constellation, let me share. I did a little search. I haven't memorized all the constellations, but the constellation that you're referring to, where let me just see, where it says where you get anxious. So they're territorial angers and scare frights. So those are the roots of this. Only started because you had two conflicts at whatever. You might have been fine until you were 12, but then you had these two conflicts at one time that started. So if you haven't done your timeline to say, when did I start feeling this way? That would be helpful, because as soon as you can realize that your psyche is just holding on to this little, a lot of people, I'm in danger, just as an example. And you can do the old story and the new story. The old story as whatever it was, I was 11, blah, 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 blah. And well, the new story is, geez, I'm an adult. I can handle any situation. So one other thing that you can do as you're doing that, you can watch scenarios that are, whether they're on TV or you go to a mall and you're like watching a like where there's a restaurant or there's a lot of commotion, and just sit back and witness. Like literally take a deep breath and just witness everybody doing their own thing. Has nothing to do with you. So you can kind of separate that. So you can just go, yeah, everybody's just, and you witness with like amazing. Like people, where was I just? Oh, oh, I went to a parade, a horse parade with my daughter last weekend. And it's the first Pierce Field. There's no there's no action out here. If I get a tractor rolling down the road, it's a really exciting day. But there were hundreds of people in one little area, like probably thousands of people in this small block. So I just put a smile on my face, and I literally was just watching and witnessing just all the unique characters. That's all we are. It was really fascinating. At one point I said, Morgan, isn't it amazing that our DNA is like 99.9% the same, but yet look around. Everyone has different behaviors, different mannerisms, different looks, different sizes, different character outfits. It becomes so fascinating when you can just sit back and witness. When I made this correlation, because I can get like I can get energy from a crowd. It kind of winds me up. Some people have seen that. Presses my manic button. So I've actually practiced, Rachel, raise your hand. I've actually practiced going out and just being and witnessing. One of my challenges was when COVID was full throttle and everybody was talking about it, and I used to get like so I just want to and I'm like, Deanna, you need to get over that. You need to go listen and just listen to their stories. So I'd be like a fly on the wall. I'd go to my friend's bar and just sit in the corner and just like listen. And everybody's experiences are their experiences. It's just one position. Guru Singh, Singh, is a Kundalini yoga instructor, and he's so cool. He's written a lot of books, and he does talk about the position. Like everybody has their own position. Doesn't make ours right, theirs wrong. It just makes it a different position. So when you can take that whole scope and just go, okay, I am going to these places and I'm safe. Sometimes, yeah, it's too loud. You can have some little, you wear your hair down. You can put a little Kleenex in your ears if sounds are triggers. So, yep, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to do my breathing. I'm going to put, so you can still hear them, but it's not so loud. So that would be a practical tip. And you can also talk to your digestive system. And if you know, like if it's lower, like talk to that and go, okay, we are safe. When we have these emotions, it's okay. Like we don't have to shit our brains out. Like we can relax. There's no danger right now. Susan, this is the first call. You haven't said anything. Are you dying? No, I didn't mean to say that. Dying to
Well,
speak.
you know, a lot of it I can't relate to because I don't, the past several years, I don't really do much for Christmas, nor do I need to, because my family's all spread out. But I just am reminded as I'm feeling the angst kind of in the air, not only on this call, but in the, you know, with everyone, I guess, the angst to create some kind of special meaning. You know, it's like well, we have this expectation, you're supposed to be there. I don't buy presents. I did do some baking, and I have some lights and a poinsettia and stuff, you know, so I'm not a total heathen, but my motto has just been that ordinary days are my favorite when there aren't any expectations. So there's an invitation for that magic to happen when I'm not thinking I'm controlling it or I'm making meaning, you know, because that's what we're after, the magic of and the gift of life. And it's like you have to get out of the way, kind of, and I mean, one little story I'll share quickly is that when I was a kid, I mean, there was all this anticipation. There were 9 people in my family, and we had extended family coming over in the afternoon and presents, and just so much talking and so much noise. And I was kind of in the awkward age, like 12, 13, 14 maybe. And it was mostly little kids. And my older siblings went off and did things. And I used to go, we used to have it in the rec room, the Christmas, because it was the only place large enough for all these people. And I used to go up into the second floor into one of the bedrooms and turn the light off and lay on the bed and just listen to the quietness. I realized in retrospect, it's like, wow, that's a track that I set up at a young age where I realized, all the hoopla is great and everything, but I had a tolerance level, and my true craving was peace, was that peace. And so like you, Deanna, I mean, I can relate to just identifying with, like, whenever there's a lot of hype around me, it's my signal to pull back and just witness, just observe. Because life is very interesting all by itself. I don't have to make it mean something or adhere to, conform to traditions for the sake of expectation and all that pressure. Even when I had my own family and, my husband and the kids would go to his parents, I would stay back. I said, I'll come, wait, but they live close by. And I used to just light a candle and, sing this little song, this kind of spiritual verse to myself, because I didn't want to miss in all the meaning making in the tradition. I didn't want to miss the most important thing, which was the connection to myself and to God. And so I prefer less hoopla, and I just haven't participated in all the gift giving and present giving. It's kind of, you make a pact kind of with family and friends. And some people, they were hard to die, but they finally get it now too. It's like, well, we're going to bring you a present. I'm like, okay. But eventually it's like, it's just not necessary.
No,
All the commotion
a couple
and the meaning making.
that, Susan, you thank you for sharing, because you always have just these really, my true craving was true peace. Like, that's so beautiful. And what I find that's common, like I know the personalities, getting to know them pretty well on this call, and that's all we really want. Like, that's why we're drawn to German New Medicine, is because it takes us out of that crazy world of you're broken and here, have this drug. So that was a beautiful sharing. It inspired me. So Ashley, what if you actually created a quiet activity that was something that you can carry wherever you go, and it's a holiday activity, and it's for the quiet room? It's for whatever room that is the quietest, because you're not alone in anxiety. Kids get it. And if your child is used to a certain environment, he could get anxious too. So if you just say, oh, my gift this year to all of us is I created, or buy a quiet game or something, and you bring that to wherever you go. And whoever's hosting, you can say, what room can I set this up? And you just share. So that is your gifting to all that are participating. It'll be funny because you may be surprised at how many people want to be in the quiet room.
Yeah. So what do you mean by activity? Like a puzzle or like something like that?
Or something. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like a-
well, I don't know. The sky's the limit. I get I don't know. I'm thinking of old pictures. This is something that I would do is I take a bunch of old pictures, cut them all up into little puzzle pieces, and like have a grab bag of like putting these pictures together. Like it could be anything. It could be a pre-purchased one. You could go to a secondhand store and get something. But it's something you can travel with that can be a quiet activity for all, and you let the kids know, you let the adults. Like I brought this because some people are uncomfortable with a lot of activity, as I think everybody, well, probably maybe with the exception of me. I like that activity, but actually too much is too much too. So everybody has their levels. So you can brainstorm on that. Whether it is
Yeah, that's really good.
and maybe it is you getting a Christmas puzzle. Go to a secondhand store. I mean, people use a puzzle once and then it's like, I got to give this away because I don't want to do it again. So every year you and Judd go to the secondhand store and you get a Christmas puzzle. And this is not 1,000 piece, obviously, but maybe a 250, a 500 that a whole group of people could do together. They make mats where you can roll them up. And maybe if you're bouncing from here to there, that's your activity that goes wherever you are.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, Susan, thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay.
Happy New
Well,
Year.
yes, happy. I always say
Happy
every
New Year.
day's Christmas because that's really what the spirit is. I love the every day. Every day is merry this moment. Is that we are the gift. So anyway, does anybody else have any quick share as we tie this up? We close this out. We're all good. We're all full. All right. All right. Well, thank you for showing up and sharing and listening and honoring our whole little tribe. And the tribe is here so we don't feel alone in our journey. Because learning German new medicine and having conversations. And by the way, I wouldn't bring this up at Christmas. if you've had health challenges and they're like, oh, how are you feeling? The news story is I'm doing great. I am so understanding my body and how I perceive stress and how I just am learning to trust my body. That is a very strong phrase. So I don't talk GNM, like it's almost off the table. I don't say the words anymore unless somebody asks. And then if I've had one toddy, I don't go any further. I'm like, this is all I can say because I can get wound up. So anyway, may you have a joyous holiday season, whatever that means to you, but every day, just enjoy the moment and breathe. And Rachel was so beautiful in leading that. And I think I'll try to get her, or I will ask her to actually do a little recording of that for us. Because that will be a nice tool. That we always have a bathroom. May you always have a breath and a bathroom close by. For two different reasons, not just for the toilet, but for the quiet space. So have a joyous thank you. I'm so honored that our little tribe is growing and there's no hurry to this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Many blessings.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.